business district in Columbia during the 20th century. KRCG 13's Jessica Hart is in the studio to tell us about it.
The Sharp End Business District was like a city within a city for the black community between the 1900s and the 1960s. What started out as just a couple of black-owned businesses turned into a thriving business district.
As cars pass the intersection on 5th Street and Walnut, many don't know what stood in its place for nearly 60 years.
Sharp End was a black business district here in Columbia. It started around the turn of the century, 1900. And it lasted up through the late 50s, early 60s.
It was known as the cultural heart of the black community.
A community within a community. So you had liquor stores there, you had restaurants, you had apartments, you had a cab stand, you had the beer joints, barbershop, a church.
Blacks developed the Sharp End Business District basically because they had no place else to go. You know, there's widespread discrimination, Jim Crow laws. You know, after the Civil War, we had a base of people that want to do things for themselves in order to exist, in order to grow jobs, in order to service their own communities. And so that was the impetus to, you know, starting the Sharp End.
But it wasn't a place where anyone in the black community could go.
As kids under 18, we were not allowed on the south side, where all of the activities were taking place.
Larry Monroe grew up in the Sharp End, where his mother owned a cafe on the north side of Walnut.
When I turned 18, I had to get a written permission from my mother to go into it to play pool. You just couldn't walk in there and start participating.
Monroe says walking the streets of the Sharp End was like a rite of passage, and at the age of 21, he could walk on the south side.
The community in those days had a separation. You had adult activities and you had children activities. And that was a way of separating it and keeping it that way.
The Sharp End was a self-sustaining black business community until Monroe and Witt say urban renewal dismantled it all.
James Witt is the chairman of the Sharp End Heritage Committee, and in 2015 they were able to place a plaque outside the city parking garage on Walnut Street to recognize the Sharp End. Later this week I'll have more from Monroe and Witt on how the Sharp End was ruined by urban renewal.